Hello, English learners, and welcome to English Teacher Podcast. My name is Pam, your English teacher, and I'm so happy you're here today. This is the place where we speak slowly, clearly, and with emotion, so you can understand real English and learn to speak with confidence every single day. Let's begin today's episode with a quick question for you. Have you ever had the words in your mind, but couldn't say them out loud? You knew what you wanted to say. Maybe you even practiced in your head a few times. But then, when the moment came, nothing came out. Maybe your voice got quiet. Maybe your heart started beating faster. Maybe your hands started to sweat, and suddenly you didn't feel ready to speak. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. In this episode, I'll show you how to speak English with confidence, even if you feel nervous, even if you're not perfect, and even if English is not your first language. We'll break it down into small steps. We'll use real phrases, real situations, and we'll practice together. And by the end of this episode, you'll feel stronger, more prepared, and more confident to speak English in real life. But first, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was teaching a conversation class for intermediate students. It was the first day of class, and I asked a simple question to start the session. I said, "Can you introduce yourself to the person next to you?" Simple, right? But one student, her name was Marisol, froze. She looked at her notebook, then at her partner, and then back at me. She whispered, "I'm sorry. I can't." I smiled and walked over. "Do you know what you want to say?" I asked. She nodded. "In my head, yes. But I can't speak it." That moment changed how I teach English forever, because I realized something very important. Confidence is not about how much English you know. It's about how ready you feel to use it. So if you've ever felt like Marisol, you're not alone. Many students at the intermediate level understand a lot. They know grammar, they know vocabulary, but they're still afraid to speak. Today, I want to help you overcome that, because I believe you can speak English. And I believe that when you speak with emotion and confidence, even with small mistakes, you sound natural, human, and powerful. Are you ready to begin? Let's take the first step together. In the next part, we'll explore why speaking English can feel so hard sometimes and how your brain reacts when you try. Take a deep breath. You've got this. Let's go. The real reason we struggle with confidence. Now that we've talked about what real confidence sounds like, let's go a little deeper. Why do we really struggle with confidence when speaking English? Well, the truth is, it's not because you're not smart enough. It's not because you haven't studied enough. And it's definitely not because you're too old or too young or too slow. Most of the time, it's because we have the wrong idea about what confidence is. You see, a lot of learners think, "I need to know all the vocabulary first," or "I must speak with perfect grammar," or even, "If I make a mistake, people will laugh at me." Sound familiar? These thoughts create fear, and fear is the number one enemy of confidence. let me tell you about two students I had, Luis and Marta. Both were at the same level, intermediate. Luis was amazing at grammar. He studied every rule. He could write long essays with very few mistakes. But in conversation, he stayed quiet, always afraid to make a mistake. Marta, on the other hand, wasn't perfect. She made little errors when she spoke, but she smiled, laughed, and kept going. She didn't freeze. She connected. Guess what happened? People loved talking to Marta, and she improved faster. Why? Because confidence builds experience, and experience builds real fluency. Now let's talk about emotions. When you speak English, your brain isn't just doing grammar. It's also dealing with emotions. What kind of emotions? Fear of judgment, fear of looking stupid, fear of being rejected. Your heart starts to beat faster, your hands might sweat, and your mind goes blank. This is normal. It's a natural response to fear. But here's the secret. You don't need to eliminate fear. You need to move with it. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It's the ability to continue, even when fear is present. So next time your mind goes blank, breathe, smile. Use a simple phrase like, "Sorry, I'm still learning." Can you repeat that? You'll be surprised how kind people are when you're honest. And when you take that small step, that's real confidence. You don't need perfect grammar to be confident. You need courage to keep going. Psychology of confidence. How your brain learns best. Let's talk about your brain. Because learning English is not just about vocabulary and grammar. It's about how your brain feels while you're learning. Have you ever noticed this? When you feel relaxed, the words come easier. You remember more, you speak better. But when you're nervous or stressed, your mind goes blank. Even simple words disappear. Why does this happen? Because when we feel pressure, our brain activates the amygdala. That's the part of your brain that manages fear. It sends signals like, danger, you might make a mistake. What if they laugh at you? Your body reacts. Heart races, hands sweat. Your memory shuts down. Now imagine the opposite. You're sitting in a quiet room. No judgment, no pressure. You're just listening to English, repeating simple phrases, smiling. In that moment, your brain is calm. Your hippocampus, which helps store memory, is working better. This is when learning becomes natural. This is why we always say relaxed learning is faster learning. Now let me introduce you to a powerful tool. It's called the confidence loop. Here's how it works. Step 1, listen. Start with slow, clear English. Use audio like this podcast. Step 2, repeat. Say the words out loud. Use the same tone, same rhythm. Step 3, remember, after repeating several times, your brain starts to connect the phrases. They become familiar. Step 4, speak. Now, when you're in a conversation, your brain says, "Oh, I've said this before," and the words come out without thinking too much. Then what happens? you feel successful. You feel proud. That feeling creates more confidence. And the loop starts again. Listen, repeat, remember, speak, confidence, repeat. It's simple, but it works, especially when you're kind to yourself. So the next time you feel stuck, ask yourself, am I learning with fear or with peace? Choose peace. Choose repetition. And little by little, you'll notice the difference. That's how your brain learns best. Practice time, useful phrases to sound confident. Now it's time to practice speaking. In this section, I'll share some useful phrases that help you sound more confident in English. We'll go slowly, and I'll explain how to use each phrase in real life. Let's start with the first one. Sorry, can you say that again? Repeat after me, slowly. Sorry. Can you say that again? Now, let's try it again, a little faster. Sorry. Can you say that again? This is a very polite and natural way to ask someone to repeat what they said. You don't need to feel embarrassed. Even native speakers say this all the time. Just say it with a calm voice and a smile. Next phrase, I didn't catch that. Repeat after me. I didn't catch that. Now repeat a little faster. I didn't catch that. This one is short and casual. It's great for fast conversations, especially with friends or coworkers. You don't need to apologize. Just say it naturally. Next, could you please repeat that? Let's break it down. Could you please repeat that? Again, a little faster. Could you please repeat that? This one is polite and formal. It works well in a meeting, at the airport, or with someone you don't know very well. The word please makes you sound respectful and confident at the same time. Now try this one. I'm still learning English. Say it with me. I am still learning English. Now repeat a little faster. I'm still learning English. This phrase is powerful. It shows that you're learning and you're not afraid to speak. That's real confidence. When you say it with a calm tone and a smile, people will usually help you. They'll be more patient and friendly. Let's do one more. Can you explain that in another way? Repeat slowly. Can you explain that in another way? Now, repeat it smoothly. Can you explain that in another way? This is perfect when you don't understand something, but you want to keep talking. It's a smart way to ask for help without stopping the conversation. You stay in control. So remember, confidence is not about knowing every word. It's about staying calm when you don't. It's about using the right phrases at the right time. These sentences are your tools. Practice them until they feel natural. Use them with your friends, in class, at work, and little by little, you'll feel more confident every time you speak. You've got this. Let's keep going. Mistakes are normal. How to deal with them gracefully. Let's talk about something really important. Mistakes. We all make them. In fact, if you're not making mistakes, you're probably not learning enough. And yet, many English learners freeze when they make a mistake. They feel embarrassed. They apologize too much. They stop speaking. But here's the truth. Mistakes are a natural and necessary part of learning. Even native speakers make mistakes. All the time. We say things wrong, forget words, or change our sentence halfway through, and no one laughs or points fingers. Why? Because it's normal. So how can you respond with confidence when you make a mistake? Let's practice a few phrases together. If you say something wrong and you want to correct it, try saying, "Let me try that again." This shows confidence and control. You're not embarrassed, you're simply taking a second try. Another useful phrase is, I meant to say, for example, I go to the store yesterday. Oh, I meant to say, I went to the store yesterday. Simple, right? You just fix it and move on. Now, sometimes we don't even notice a mistake until later, and that's okay too. The important thing is to keep the conversation going. Because confidence is not perfection. Confidence is connection. It's about staying calm and present, even if you mess up. Let me tell you a quick story. One of my students, Anna, was very afraid to speak. She always waited for the perfect sentence in her head, and guess what? She didn't speak at all. Then one day, we did a little challenge. She had to speak for 1 minute without stopping, even if she made mistakes. At first, she was nervous. She said, I go to, I don't know how to say it. And I told her, say anything. Keep going. She laughed and said, okay, I go to the park with my brother, sister, I don't know, family. It was not perfect, but she was trying. And that's the point. We clapped at the end. She smiled so big because for the first time, she felt free. She wasn't trying to impress anyone. She was just speaking with honesty, with joy. And from that moment, her English improved so fast. Why? Because she stopped waiting to be perfect. So here's your takeaway. Mistakes are not failure. They are feedback. They show you what to work on. They are signs of progress. And the more you speak, even with mistakes, the better your English becomes. So the next time you get something wrong, smile, take a breath, and say, let me try that again. You've got this. Shadowing and listening routine for fluency. Let's talk about something powerful, something simple yet completely transformative for your English. I'm talking about a daily listening and shadowing routine. You've probably heard that listening is important, but have you ever made it a habit? Not just listening while washing dishes or riding the bus, but truly listening with intention, with repetition, with presence. When we treat listening as passive, we miss the magic. But when we turn it into a daily active ritual, the results are huge. Here's how to start building your own 10-minute shadowing routine, one that actually works. First, choose the right audio. Don't pick something too difficult. It's better to choose something a little below your current level, something you understand about 70 to 80% of without reading subtitles. It could be a YouTube video, a podcast, a story like this one, or even a movie clip. Now, here's your simple routine. Minute 1, listen only. No subtitles, no transcript. Just sit and let the words flow into your ears. Even if you don't understand everything, your brain is picking up sounds, rhythm, and melody. Minute 2, listen again. This time, focus on the intonation. Can you hear where the voice goes up and down? Where does it slow down? Where is there emotion? Try to feel it, like music. Minute 3 and 4, start the shadowing. Play one sentence, pause. Say it out loud with the same rhythm, same melody, same emotion. No need to be perfect. This is not a test. This is training. It's okay to make mistakes. That means you're trying. Minute 5 and 6, repeat again. Yes, same sentences, same shadowing. Why? Because repetition is where fluency grows. Fluency doesn't come from understanding. It comes from repeating until your mouth, your muscles, and your mind move together. Minute 7 and 8, add some speed. Try to say the sentence almost at the same time as the speaker, like singing in karaoke, not before, not after, but with the voice. Minute 9, listen again without repeating. Just enjoy the result. Your brain is now processing the sounds much faster. You'll understand more this time without even trying. Minute 10, now close your eyes. Visualize yourself using these words in a real conversation. You're confident, you're smiling, and the words come naturally. That is the power of the simple shadowing routine. You only need 10 minutes, but do it daily. No excuses. Build this into your life like brushing your teeth, because the more you listen, the more your English grows, silently, naturally, and deeply. And best of all, you don't need to memorize anything. You just need to repeat what you already love. So tomorrow morning or tonight, promise yourself just 10 minutes. You can even replay this podcast. Let's turn listening into your fluency superpower. You've got this. You made it to the end of today's episode. Take a moment and feel proud. Yes, really, stop for a second, because you just spent time working on your confidence, your skills, and your voice. And that is not easy. It takes courage to keep learning a new language. It takes energy to try, to listen, to repeat, to grow. But every small step you take adds up. Maybe today you learned one new phrase, or maybe you just felt a little more comfortable speaking out loud. That's progress. Let me remind you of the most important things we covered today. First, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up and practice. Confidence doesn't come when you finally speak perfectly. It comes when you speak anyway, even with mistakes. Second, shadowing is your secret weapon. It's free, it's fast, and it works. 10 minutes a day, that's it. Repeat what you hear, match the rhythm, and you'll be shocked at how natural English starts to feel. Third, mistakes are not your enemy. They are part of the journey. Say it with me. I learn through trying. Say it again. I learn through trying, because you do. Every time you say a sentence, even with hesitation, your brain is learning. Your tongue is learning. Your confidence is growing. And finally, you are capable of more than you think. So many people stay silent because they're afraid, but not you. You're here. You're listening. You're speaking. You're taking action. That means something. You are not starting from zero. You are already on the path. Now just keep walking, step by step, word by word, day by day, and you'll get there. I believe in you, and I want you to believe in yourself too. If today's episode helped you, please follow this podcast on your favorite app. We release new episodes every week to support your journey. Also, share it with a friend who's learning English too. And if you want to help others find this show, leave a comment or a review. It really means a lot, and it tells me that this podcast matters to you. Before we finish, take one deep breath with me. Inhale and exhale. Feel that? That's your new English self becoming stronger. Thanks for joining me today. See you in the next episode. Keep learning, keep believing, and remember, English is yours.